lots of the spacing between the houses. So if you go back to 11, as Dennis has said, it said 4 lots were in character with that subdivision and with the surrounding homes. So now all of a sudden we're going to go to 3 lots. I look at that as an incremental decrease in taxes, and as well sort of 8 feet between 69 and the next lot, and 35 or 40 feet between the next 2 houses. Kind of strange. So I'd say, why would we do that? I mean, kind of crazy. 4 lots approved right here 6 years ago, and now we want to change it into 3. So I just say, what is the reason? Why would we do that? Thank you.
The agent, I'm sorry, can you come up for a couple questions, or you may have a couple points, and I didn't get the paper, sorry.
I can respond to Paul's question. This all started or was precipitated by an offer of purchase on Lot 1. The prospective purchaser there wanted additional property to build on, so he wanted half of Lot 2. Fortunately, the owners of Lot 3 were agreeable to purchase half of Lot 2 to add to their property. They're the owner, or they're the people that have the house that's currently under construction, and half of Lot 2 added to their lot affords them better access into their rear yard for landscaping work that they have underway at this time. It also affords them the opportunity of constructing a detached garage on the adjusted portion of Lot 2. As far as speaking to size, lots 2 and 3 are the smallest of those 4 lots, and by splitting them and making lots 1 and 3 larger, they do fit into the character of the neighborhood better. There's large lots all the way along there on both sides of the street.
Okay, thank you.
Any further questions?
Any questions of the agent at all? Anyone? I guess we'll reserve the right to cross-examine you or something.
Okay.
Okay, so, well, we've heard from one neighbor. We do have 3 letters here. They all are similar. They're wondering why we would split a lot in half and add it to another one. But, Dan?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Most times we would have an objection if people were trying to split 2 lots and make 3. This is the opposite. I kind of like this. I'll move it.
Just a quick question before we continue, just for my information. What's the new frontage of the 2 lots, size-wise? Maybe in there, I just don't see it offhand. Perhaps you know, Dave, what would the new frontages be on the two new lots?
Well, that lot 2 is about 20 meters wide, so split in half, 10 meters would be added to lot 1 and 10 meters to lot 3. I can't give you a dimension for lot 1, but in feet, lot 3 right now is 76.5 feet wide, so adding 30 feet to it would make it 106 wide, which would still be smaller with respect to Mr. Beachleg's lot, and smaller to some of the adjacent lots as well. So 30 feet would then be added to lot 1 as well.
Right. Yes, sir.
Well, if we actually only have 5 building stakes on a lot, it would be goes long way. Sounds
Thank you.
Mr.
Yes.
Chairman, I think maybe that was my question. What's the frontage of what was lot number 4? Is that your lot?
approximately 130 frontage on the road and on the water, but fairly restricted to the slope on each side.
Okay.
And it has a raised back.
Okay. That's really where I was going, trying to figure out what the frontage of all. Now there'll be 3 lots, and the 2 new lots won't be as big frontage-wise as the one existing lot.
Even after the creation of boundary adjustment, these 2 lots will still end up smaller, but more in keeping with the neighborhood.
Okay. I got my question answered. I don't know anybody else. So sorry to hold things up. I wanted to know that. I'll read the motion that I have by Dan, seconded by Marcel, for application BN 122, which is an application to sever a parcel of land with a frontage of 10.67 meters, an irregular depth of 113.45 meters, a width of 8.78 meters, and an area of 1,106 square meters as a boundary adjustment. Lands are to be added to the abutting property to the west. The subject application is consistent with the policies of the provincial policy statement and conform Norfolk County official plan regarding boundary adjustment in the urban area of Port Dover, and that public input was received and has been considered as part of this application. Is there further discussion? No. Those in favor of the motion? Motion's carried. Then we have another one for BN 129, which is the other half. Eric? Rudy? So, but moved by Eric, second by Rudy, application BN 129, that the committee approves the application to sever a parcel with the frontage 10.67 meters, a depth of 109.9 meters, a width of 8.78 meters, and an area of 1,071 square meters as a boundary adjustment. Lands are to be added to the abutting parcel to the east. The subject application is consistent with the policies of the provincial policy statement, and it conforms to Norfolk County official plan regarding creation of a new lot in the urban area, and that no public input was received, or public input was received and has been considered as part of this application. And of course, as always, the conditions are outlined in the motion as well. Further discussion? Those in favor? Carried. Thanks, everyone. BN 126, Alan and Carol Skoblenek. Sir, And anyone else here for this one? No, we'll have the planner explain the report.
This is an application for a boundary adjustment. A small strip of unused farmland is proposed to be added to an existing rural residential lot. The subject lands are designated and zoned agricultural, and the proposed amendment is minor in nature. The application complies with the provincial policy statement and conforms to the official plan policies regarding a boundary adjustment in the agricultural designation. Staff support this application and recommend approval.
Thank you very much. Any questions of the planner? Dennis, approval? Is there a seconder? Thank you. Motion by Dennis, second by Eric, that the committee hereby approves the application BN 126 to sever a parcel with a frontage of 6.7 meters, irregular width of 6.7 meters, irregular depth of 89 meters, an area of 0.14 acres, and retain a parcel with an area of 149 acres as a boundary adjustment. The lands are to be added to the existing vacant lot located immediately to the east, roll number ending in 59910, and its final lot size will be 1.14 acres. The application is consistent with the provincial policy statement and conforms to the intent of the Norfolk County official plan regarding boundary adjustments in the agricultural designation, and that no public input was received, therefore not considered as part of this application. Any further discussion? Oh, I'm sorry, Dave. Yes, sir.
One request I'd like to make, condition number 3 of approval. And I just got this in the mail Monday, so I had to move fast. So I've only been able to speak verbally with Doug Lyons from Public Works, but condition number 3, Public Works has asked for the removal of the existing entrance. Now, that is the entrance to this property, and I've spoke with Doug and said we want to retain that entrance because that will be the entrance used for the construction of the house on this lot. So I'd like to have condition number 3 removed. There is no other entrance from the road onto this property.
Okay. Onto which property? Are we talking, onto the vacant lot property?
On the vacant lot, yes, the vacant lot, there is no entrance. There's just a roadside ditch.
Right.
And that would require a culvert and entrance application. But on this sliver that's being added, there is a culvert and graveled entrance across it. That's basically what this little sliver was a laneway to access the farm field behind this.
Dennis?
Mr. Chairman, in light of what we've just heard, a question to the planner, is there any reason why we shouldn't be honoring this request?
Through the chair, I personally don't like to remove conditions from another division just because I haven't talked to Public Works about it. My suggestion would be to keep it, and if they instead can just submit an entrance permit for the property, or I'm not sure what Doug said to Dave, but I'm just hesitant because there's probably a reason that it was put in, but it's the committee's decision.
Okay, there was no reason that Doug could offer me.
So,
however, to be frank, for him, he didn't attend. He was still off on a sick leave at the time the inspection was made. So some other staff member looked at this and not Doug.
Well, what if we add the words "if necessary" to that condition? Sure. Then you can take it up with Public Works. Okay. That's not getting rid of it, but that's not set in stone either.
Okay, so if I can further ask a question, if I can produce a letter from Public Works to the Secretary of the Committee of Adjustment, at the time we go through all the registration, will that suffice?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's all I did.
Because we add the words if necessary, and if the public works sign off on it, that's not necessary, then you've fulfilled your condition.
Thank you.
Is that all right if we add that to the motion? I did read the motion, did I not? Okay, so we're going to change that condition to add the words if necessary, and now we got you've heard the motion, so those persons in favor of the motion. Opposed, carried. Okay. AN 138, Keytoke Holdings, Inc. Welcome. Anyone else here for this one? We'll have the planner explain the report loudly, please.
An application has been received to construct an addition to an industrial building requiring relief of 0.34 meters from the minimum required front yard of 6 meters to permit a front yard of 5.66 meters. The subject lands are 3.62 acres in size and front onto the south side of Boswell Street in the urban area of Simcoe. The lands contain an industrial factory. The surrounding land uses are community, institutional, and agricultural. In the Norfolk County official plan, the subject lands are designated Industrial Business Park. Section 4.11.1A of the Norfolk County official plan states that the predominant use of land shall be a wide range of employment and industrial uses, subject to the policies of this section. Section 4.11.1G of the official plan states uses accessory to any of the permitted uses in the industrial business park designation are permitted. The existing location of this office space will be removed. The proposed 3-story office addition will be located in the same place. The proposed office addition is in conformity to the policies of the official plan because the proposed office space is being used for industrial purposes. Planning staff also believe that this addition would not impact the surrounding industrial land uses. The proposed addition will be flush along the left side of the building and will not impede the accessibility of the subject lands, as employees will still be able to maneuver around the building as needed. The proposed addition will maintain the professional characteristics amongst the surrounding properties and will provide employees with greater safety in their day-to-day operations in the facility. The surrounding properties will not be negatively impacted by this application. The subject application maintains the intent of the zoning bylaw. Staff has completed a site inspection and are of the opinion that the requested relief considered minor and appropriate in this instance. The end result of the minor variance is not anticipated to negatively impact surrounding property owners or lands and represents good planning. It is the professional opinion of community planning staff that the requested relief can be considered minor in nature, appropriate development, and generally meets the intent of the Norfolk County official plan and zoning bylaw. As such, planning staff support this application and recommend that it be approved.
Thank you very much. Questions of the planner? Decisions? Okay, thanks. I have a mover. Is there a seconder? It's been moved by Rudy, seconded by Eric, that the committee hereby approves the application of Keytoke Holdings, Inc., an application to construct an addition to an industrial building requiring relief of 0.34 meters from the minimum required front yard setback of 6 meters to permit a setback of 5.66 meters. In accordance with Section 45(1) of the Planning Act, the development and requested relief is considered appropriate, minor, maintains the intent of the official plan and the zoning bylaw, and that no public input was received, therefore not considered as part of this application. Is there any further discussion? Those in favor? Carried. And we'll do one more here. AN 132, Hans and Patricia Engelhardt. Anyone here regarding this one? I see no one. Okay. We'll have the planner explain the report.
This is a minor variance application to construct a 3-season sunroom on an existing deck in the hazard land zone. Permission is required from the Committee of Adjustment to expand a legal non-conforming use. The sunroom would be located on a legally established deck with no increase in building footprint and there is no negative impact expected on the hazard lands, and no aggravation of the hazard is anticipated. Long Point Region Conservation Authority is supportive of this application, which is important to staff as they determine our hazard lands areas, and would be required to obtain a permit from LPRCA to build this sunroom. The development is considered minor, desirable in nature, and complies with the intent of the former zoning bylaw. Staff support this application and recommend that it be approved.
Thank you. Questions of the planner? No? Wishes? Dennis? I have a motion by Dennis, second by Eric for application AN 132. It's the application to expand a legal non-conforming use by establishing a 3-season sunroom on an existing deck within the hazard lands